David Best.
Ask me questions?
I think you can take it away from here.
Okay. Driving over here, I was thinking about, there's a whole lot of controversies that keep coming up about the temple, about Burning Man supporting the temple or not giving us enough money. You know, if Burning Man were to own the temple, you know, it would be inappropriate. The temple belongs to our community. If we build the temple.
Can you point the mic closer to your mouth?
Yeah, we don't need to keep bitching.
The fans, that would solve a lot of it. Sound. Don't turn on the fan.
Fans, stay on, mic is closer.
What do you want me to do next? That's what everybody says. Can I do something? Where's the wood? Where do you want this wood? God, I've been with people all day. Okay, if I'm not yelling, no,
you're fine.
Okay, I wanted to address the issue that comes up about the temple and funding for the temple. All right? There's been a lot of controversy. There's some people who I do not agree with, who are bitching about Burning Man not giving enough money to the temple. If Burning Man were to own the temple, I don't think it would have the same spirit that it has when it belongs to all of us. Okay? It's our responsibility to build the temple, not Burning Man's. You know? So let's clear that up. For me, I'd much rather throw my own money in it than have it belong to someone else. Okay? I think it's our temple. Okay? They're generous to me. They've been generous to all the people that build the temples. So we still have to go forward with it. All right? I just wanted to get that one out because it just keeps riding on me about people bitching about Burning Man not giving them enough money. So, I've built a whole bunch of temples. A bunch of other people have. I'm not sure why I'm here tonight. Really?
Talk about the new one. You built an amazing temple.
This is a unique temple this year. We've been, over the years, Burning Man continues to ask me, can we put together some kind of program how to build a temple? And it's, each individual builds it. That was Dave Olmos and Marley. And they're working with us this year. Flux. Well, this was one. Let's hold this slide for a minute. Everybody, including myself, bitched about this temple, right? Oh, it's not a temple. It looks like this or it's that, or it didn't have this or that. I think in terms of the evolution of the temple, I think what Flux did was raise the bar. I think they really brought it to a completely different level.
It was my favorite.
Wasn't mine.
That one was awesome.
But what it brought to the temples was my favorite thing. So this year, when Burning Man's been talking to me for a number of years about trying to put together how do you build a temple. This year we have a really amazing situation. I'm working with 4 architects. And people say, how can you juggle 4 architects? I've got 4 brilliant young architects that are interpreting. If I do a line drawing, the next day they've got it interpreted and produced. It's just gorgeous what they're doing. I've got 3 structural engineers. Less gorgeous thing. Structural engineers really beat you to pieces. You just have to go through a lot of changes with them because they want more stuff. Right? I don't know what that is. This might be the Autodesk stuff? Yeah.
Put these slides in there.
Okay, great. We're Autodesk, or a computer company, software company, not using their name, has offered to help us. And last year, the last temple I did, they built a bunch of benches, and now they're helping design the lamps. We're doing big lamps in the temple. It's awful wrinkled paper.
It's supposed to look like a fire.
We have 100 people on our crew this year. Yesterday, I didn't hug anybody. I didn't pat anybody on the back. I didn't kiss anybody. It was just a really bad day. I forget why. Cars breaking or some bullshit.
You need a hug
some
today?
stuff. No. But what I did today is I told everybody I was sorry I didn't hug them yesterday. You know, we have such an incredible community of people. You know, again, addressing political and social issues that came up over the controversy of the temple. With a lot of the attack on the organization by somebody or not, or whatever came out, I realized I had 50,000 friends. And that there's 25 that I just don't know yet. You know, and it's like all of us. I think, you know, our community is so unique in that it supports one another. Okay, this is kind of where we're playing with the temple this year. It's not going to look like it was done with computers, because you can't get stuff like that out of garbage cans. We've got a great company that's giving me all their scrap. I mean, it's like we got 2 days. We pick up all their drop wood. And then I've got a company that makes rock and roll amplifiers. About 55% of the temple will be built with recycled material. So, but we're not going to get a green award for cleanup. Not my way of doing it. I just don't have I can't do it. This is, okay, now back up on this one, because now, this is the architects, right? This is where, I don't know how to back up a computer. It still just looks like, they just started trying to figure out how in the hell we could get, I found some steel. I found a bunch of steel shapes and was trying to figure out a curve. So there's 4 of them, would sit at night trying to figure out what kind of pattern we could create for the temple. You know, and every one of them, you know, had, like, Gray came up with 4 ideas one day, and we took 2 of them. And it was really hard for him. He wanted us to take all 4, you know. But you know, we were very smooth about taking 2. So I don't know what the temple's doing now. We can go to another picture. This is all that computer stuff. And it works really fast, you know. I think no, that's not how we're doing it now. But spire, curved beams, dome, compression ring to be designing dome. I mean, God, imagine working with 4 people that really had an education. You know, I mean, it's just like, God, I mean, it really has changed. The next person or the next people that build a temple, that follow this temple, should, and I will recommend to Burning Man, have at least 1 or 2 architects working with them. I don't care what kind of goofy artist you are. If you've got that balance of the architect and their engineering skills, it's just going to make it fly. This year's temple has archways for we kept the wall in to keep the sound monsters out. So we have a large wall, and then there's 4 entrances. What? Something about?
She said, Mama, can I have some of this?
Yeah. Oh, this was a sketch. I mean, really a sketch, like on a, you know. And they've now produced, I think, I don't know how many. Ray, how many lamps do we have? 8 8-footers. We're doing a 20-foot or bigger chandelier in the center of the temple. And someone gave me, God, I don't know who it is here, but when we did one of the temples, when we had the down and the altar come up, someone put a clown nose on it.
I have a question.
It's going to belong to the public. What's the question?
So with the 4 entrances, is it north, south, east, west quadrants, or is it based on the Burning Man 130 sectors? Is it like Buddhist, like north, south, east, west?
Yeah, all those.
Okay.
No, I don't think that way.
Okay.
I mean, we just have 4 entrances, so you know, I don't even know if it's lined up that way. You know, I mean, the front entrance to the temple follows the esplanade up. The front entrance, the first entrance, the main entrance is wheelchair access. So it's always, the temple has always been ADA. Is that ADA? Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
I think that's a fake. I'm pretty sure that's a fake.
Oh, it's photoshopped in there?
Yeah, I wasn't drawing that.
That's a sheet.
Okay, this is our meetings, the architects. Dan, Steve, Gray, Marisha, Scott, one of our builders. That's me. And we do like maybe 5-6 hours every Tuesday night, just going over and over and over the stuff, trying to figure out, you know, we've got the dome weighs like 40,000 pounds or something. It's a lot. And we've got to lift it. And so they've got to figure out how to do it. This is where we're working. This is all just early stages of the temple. I go to we fill this yard. This is a fairly good sized yard, so we just pick up scrap. There's, you know, these are all from Mesa Boogie that does the amplifiers. So I have like maybe 4,000 discs. Assembly, just like we always build the temple, we have assembly lines with people building. And yeah, there's more of the stuff. This was a tough one. This was really a hard shape here. I couldn't figure out what to do with it. It was like, I didn't like it. You know, it was like a Gothic shape, right? And we did a thing where I had everybody one day, we were finishing work, and I put all the stuff on the bench, and everybody started playing with the pieces like they were in school, like kids. And one person took a week to figure out what to do with these. And it's brilliant. I mean, they just created this gorgeous thing. I didn't do it. One of the crew people did it. You know, this is our roof structure kind of stuff. God, the beams weigh. Why I tell you it weighs so much? Maggie was talking about this year's crew. The interesting thing that happened with the dynamic of the crew this year, and I'm not sure how it came about. I think, oh, I do know how it came about. When the person that was going to do the temple turned down the temple, and it was kind of in a limbo place, my wife, Maggie, said, let's build a temple this year. So that's how it came about. Maggie brought it, said, why don't we do it this year? So for the first time, my wife has taken less of a back, she's always runs the crew with me, but she's taken a more present place. This year, the assembly and the hardworking is much more gentle. It's not like a macho framer carpenter thing. You know, it's like 20 people all working on one beam. So I think it's the evolution of the temple to get away from that kind of macho masculine thing. It belongs, again, I don't know, it might be because of Maggie, since she's not a man. That was a joke. Okay, this is the chandelier. This is the spire. This is 20 feet tall. This, we're playing with a really ornate ceiling that will be layers and layers. And it's still out. We're still waiting for one of the architects to convince us that the ceiling's going to work. Right? So, you know, so we're giving he or she that another week before we either pull the plug or go with it. A collaboration is probably the thing that makes this temple so unique. Is like today we had, I don't know, 40 2x4s with screws in them. 4 people spent all day taking screws out of a 2x4. Not a very artistic statement, but a valuable statement. Every ounce of energy that people put into the temple is respected. And it's what makes the temple so unique for me or for anybody that works on it. So that's the chandelier. That's just the skin of it. So we're roughing everything in California, doing a lot of prototyping, which means we figure out what the heck to do with decorative pieces, and then we'll ship everything up to the desert, and then we're on the playa for X amount of days. I think we've got 7 trucks this year. Oh, here's the ceiling. So that's the dome is 50 feet across. So it's a pretty good sized dome. There's our lamps. These are Gray's. Gray, you did a nice job. Gray, are you gonna, come on, Gray. Terrified, absolutely terrified of me. I mean, I could say, Gray, what did you do? And he just backs up. I think it's a game we play. I'm not sure. Is it a game?
Sure.
No, it wasn't. This is Arthur coming up with the starting of the lamps. The battle with the Burning Man stuff and everybody using CNC and CAD machines and laser cutting and all that stuff is how to get it back away from that so it doesn't look like a computer did it, So we get to this point, and this is again my philosophy about building. One of the temples, someone had put, I don't know, I turned my back and this guy, a very famous Mad Magazine cartoonist, older man, worked on the front of it. And I came back and I kind of looked up at it and I kind of looked disappointed. And he started crying and apologized to me for ruining the temple, right? And it took me, an hour, 2 hours walking around with him trying to explain to him that it was impossible for him to do that. I'm bound by this craftsmanship and perfection that I learned over the years at school. And that imperfect thing that people bring is what makes the temple really have that special spark. It's not a well-crafted temple. It's that individual that puts the goofy thing on backwards because they don't know better. It still belongs, like I said, the temple doesn't belong to anybody but us. If it became perfect, it wouldn't be any good. It wouldn't be our temple. There's the stuff. See those things? But they ended up, maybe there's a picture of them. That was nice. Everybody, there was 20 people moving those. There's Dan. That's Ruby and Jeff. You guys know who Ruby and Jeff are? Yeah. Yeah. They're another part of our family. Our whole, they're doing stuff. There's some of the panels. Oh, gosh. That's the end of that. Do you guys, I fired that stuff at you about the political issues of the temple and the controversy that came up about it. because I went online when all this stuff was going on, and I mean, I didn't go online, someone else did, but I mean, I watched it. And it was like, there's some people, and I don't know who they are, but they're out there, they're complaining about Burning Man and about the billions of dollars that Burning Man makes, and how, you know, and it just is so far from what my commitment to our family is. I don't begrudge anybody for how much money they have. You know, it's not where we're at. You know, and it became sour to me. I thought, God, you know, it's where that figure came out of 50,000 friends. You know, we just have to defend ourselves against sour stuff. You know, does that make sense? Yeah. So, you know, it's what we, you know, it doesn't matter. This is all, you know, the temple's built by all our community. It doesn't belong to anybody. It belongs to our whole entire community. You know. Anyway. And the kids, Dexter, you came and worked up with us, huh? Yeah.
How can we help and how can we get involved?
So the question is, how do we help? How do we get involved?
Oh God, I got into a fight with Burning Man the other day, and they said the same thing to me. I said, well, a cup of coffee wasn't going to do it. You know what? I really came here to see you guys. I'd rather not answer that. You know, we're doing pretty well. Okay, this is not a fundraiser. It's, you know, you can help by helping us, the girl with it. Oh, with the camera thing for that young girl. She doesn't need a camera. She's got the vision. She wants to use a cell phone. She doesn't need a camera. The cell phone thing is going to be a far out thing that you do. You know?
She's right there.
Yeah. You don't need the camera stuff. You just need to go with your vision. Okay. How can you help? That was a nice thing to ask, but you've already helped by inviting me here, and I had a cup of soup.
Yeah.